Amazing. Do this thing. Sticks and stones may break my bones, yeah. But easy now, I'm bulletproof, so words can never hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, yeah. But easy now, I'm bulletproof, your words can never hurt me. Look.
The idea of Boyz to Men, right? Not the group song, which I love dearly. I probably don't even know.
No, it's R&B, not his Steve.
A lot of bangers there, a lot of hits. But
I think I saw the documentary, or at least you showed me parts of the documentary.
that was definitely New Edition.
All right.
You're close. There are some
One man's
affiliation
New
there.
Edition is another man's Boyz to Men.
There's some correlation there, but you're definitely
Come on.
wrong era.
Fucking terrible.
Wrong era.
What? It's NSYNC to Backstreet Boys? No.
No, not at all. Not at all. Damn, my hands. Let's stop this train before it pulls off too far.
98 Degrees? No?
Oh, God.
Nobody's checking with 98?
Nobody's checking for 98 degrees.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop with the slander. I'll try.
Nah, but what do you think separates a boy from a man? And y'all own, because we're all 29 plus, right? We're all of age, and then some. Yeah.
Yeah, this nigga's holding on.
That was a thinly veiled shot. Like, you made that mad specific.
Is
29 plus.
Is it not true? Because I feel like we're around 30. But I ain't 30 yet.
I'm not. I still got some time.
All right, next week,
nigga.
I might get on that Bezos diet. Turn back time. Probably not, but you never know.
Bring blood.
There we go. All right. Let's get some blood. Where are we getting some? Let me stop.
Giving Morbius.
But Hans, you being 29, right? I feel like you also said earlier, like you still consider yourself.
No, I was just joking. I'm old as fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been old
Your entire life.
so long. not even.
You were born old.
Well, listen, once you rock a knee sleeve to play ball, it's a wrap. It's over. You old, my nigga. Like
I just like the way they look though.
No, not for style. Once you have to wear a knee sleeve to play ball, it's a wrap. It's over.
Wow.
There's no
I'm
fight.
not there yet. I haven't played in a minute, but I don't think I'm there yet.
Listen.
It be flexing. It be going to the left to the right knee sometimes. It's nothing. Don't do it.
Listen, I be rocking knee sleeves on both my knees, balls. Just for safe assurance.
You out here with the knee pads on, bro?
My nigga,
What we doing?
I could tell when it's about to rain. My knees.
You got that OnlyFans? You about to drop it?
I'm old. Like when it's about to rain, my knees be feeling all achy and all that kind of stuff. Listen, I'm there. I'm of age. That's it.
Kind of
He
Negro
got
spiritual
mad
is
serious
that.
right now.
Yeah, because that's real old nigga situation.
He got
right
really
there.
serious right now.
It was like old in my body. Like my back hurt. My knees ache.
For no reason, son. It's crazy. Yeah, y'all niggas look like I'm crazy. Am I the only one that be hurting for no reason sometimes?
I
No.
think so, yeah.
Every time I sit on your couch for an extended period of time, I'd be like, damn, I need a chiropractor. My knee be aching me.
See, y'all never wake up at 8.
Bro, chiropractors do not work on knees.
What the fuck? We
Hans like I need a knee rope.
We got them alternative facts here on
That
the
was
pod.
terrible.
Alternative facts. I never said they were good ones. I said they were alternatives. Different.
Oh, fake news?
Yeah. It's the best news.
But what do y'all think separates, that threshold between a boy and a man? Because I don't think it's age. We're considered of age once you're 18, 16 in some states.
16? What?
Aren't you tried as a man at 16 in some states?
If you're black,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
you'd be 4 years old. They charge you as an adult.
So,
That nigga knew what he was doing.
thinking back to when I was 18, I ain't know nothing about nothing for nothing, my nigga. So, there's no way that I could have considered myself to be a man at the age of 18. I definitely was picking up responsibilities and try to, step up to the plate. But, when the older we get, the more we learn about ourselves, the more we learn about how the world operates. I think about when I was 18, I couldn't do nothing about nothing for nothing. So just like, when you always watch movies back in the day, 18, you're going to be an adult, this, that, and the third. Then you turn 18, it's like, what is this? And then, adulting, just little but surely just keeps on adding on, picking up more bills, picking up more responsibilities. And you're like, yo, son, I hate it here. When you're 14, you're like, damn, I can't wait to be an adult. Then you're 28, like, damn, son, what was I thinking? should have pumped the brakes on this.
I think that the thing that separates, when you're a boy from a man is that experiences and growth and learning through experiences. So when, like 18, yeah, you're older, you're of age, but you don't have those experiences yet. You've never really been through anything. You've never been through a trial.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like life hits before, but I definitely feel you in the experience because I feel like, when a trial may hit when you're younger, you're a bit more sheltered because your parents may not tell you the whole truth, maybe the sugar-coated version, or they try to shelter you completely from it. And once you're 18, you're seeing things for yourself with your own eyes. I think it hits different. Or let me say beyond that, just older, in your 20s. You're seeing things through your own eyes, how things really operate, how I'm going to coin Han's phrase, how shitty people really are. It's just like, damn, son, it's real out here. It's dog eat dog.
It's so weird. I don't know where that demarcation point is. Because sometimes I feel like I'm 29. Thank you for putting it out there on Front Street. But I feel like I'm still as goofy as I was. No, I'm probably way more goofy now than I was at 18. But I still feel like a child sometimes. I don't feel like a full man. Like, I feel like it's when you have to, start doing adult actions. Whenever that happens is when you start becoming a man, regardless of how your brain develops or how your mentality is.
Well, what do you define as adult actions, though?
Like taking care of your parents or taking care of bills, taking care of siblings, doing things that adults would do, like what you're expected to do as an adult, but you're doing it as a child. I think that's when you start becoming that's when your innocence is lost. You can't go back. Once you get exposed to the adult world and you have to take on adult responsibilities, the child is dead. Because you can't be a kid no more. That's the innocence is lost. You have to be an adult. So I think whenever that happens for you is when you become adult. And sometimes that happens later in life for people, rich people where they have everything paid for them until they don't. That's when they become an adult.
I like that because I feel like one of the things that a man can't use, for me at least, my definition is excuses. I feel like kids make excuses or they cast blame on everything else outside of them. But when you have responsibilities and things aren't getting done, at the very end of the day, if it's your responsibility, there's no great enough excuse. You get what I'm saying? I feel like when you're a kid, you're allowed to mess up. And, we are allowed to mess up now too. But there's a safety net when we mess up. And, we can make excuses. We can say this happened, that happened. But like Don said, through experiences, you learn, all right, cool. If you know how things are supposed to operate, those excuses,
You felt like you was allowed to mess up as a kid?
I
don't think so.
That's a good question. Growing up in a black household, everything's seems as though it's an investment, even though you didn't understand it as an investment as a kid. You can't mess up. You're right. I couldn't mess up, but I still did. And during that time,
or more so, is it encouraged to fail?
Oh,
because I don't think so.
Not at all.
We're not encouraged to fail. We don't have those.
When you say that, not encouraged to fail, but have the freedom to fail.
Yeah, we don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
We have to succeed, no matter the odds, regardless of whether or not what we want to do is what we want to do. We have to succeed.
That's true.
We don't get the chance to explore and fail and come back better.
Yeah, we're not white. We can't do those things.
Yeah, we have to.
And especially at the age of 18. Because it's like, all right, cool, you're about to go up to college. You have to do your thing in order to bring back to your household. You have to, it's either you're going to go to school or you're going to get a full-time job. Either way, you're going to bring promise back to the household. Whether it be the immediate paycheck or the promise of a career that brings a well-paying job that brings a paycheck.
Like when you were in grade school and you got a shitty grade.
Mm-hmm.
How'd I go over?
Hellfire.
Yeah.
Hellfire.
You was afraid to bring that report card home, right?
I was out here forging signatures left and right. Left and right.
So you have to hide your failure because you're not allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to perform triple as good, even if you're not ready to.
Triple as good with less. I didn't go to after school programs. I didn't have that. So.
But was it failure because you tried and failed, or was it failure because it was seen as we didn't try, we just failed, we didn't really put any effort into it? like if you really tried your best and you didn't hit that standard, you fell short. Was it that they were upset that you failed, or were they upset that you didn't try?
I think it was a mixture of both, because there was definitely times that I tried and it just wasn't good enough. You get what I'm saying? And there were times like math, easy, 90s, easy. Math was my subject, easy.
You don't strike me as a math guy.
Let's go for accounting. So like math came really, really easy to me, and I was not a big reader. So when it came to subjects like government, sciences, we had to read how things work and stuff like that. Those subjects I definitely lacked in. Math, put numbers in front of me, I remember the way to get to the answer. You get what I'm saying? So with my mom, it was like, how you getting 90s here and 65, 70s here? You know?
Yeah.
So it was like, for me, it's just like, I get this. I understand this. I know how this functions. You know? And I pay attention in class, and I can go home and do it. Whereas the subjects we have to read about history and all these kind of things, it's just like, I'm straight. So yes and no. You know, for me, it looked as though I tried math and nothing else, even though the methods of my learning was different from math and according to versus the other ones, the other subjects. So like my mom, like I definitely didn't try hard enough. Do a good portion. I think my mom saw that. She saw my potential, I guess you could say. So that part is right.
I think sometimes the people around us see more potential than us, or they see that we have the ability and we're just not using it. So I don't think that it's necessarily we're not allowed to fail. I think it's that they don't want us to fail because we're not trying.
I think it's a mixture of both. I feel like the heat, it wasn't like
but that's what I'm saying. They're gonna come down on you because they know what you're capable of. Like, even if you don't see it in yourself, someone sees something in you, and if they know you're not hitting that target, if you're not living up to your potential, they get upset.
So do you ever get "I believe in you" type of talking?
Yeah, all the time.
Didn't get that. Oh. So that's like, I believe, is a difference maker. When people see potential in you, people are like, I believe you can do this. I know you can. I feel like not getting that leads me towards like, you can't fail.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. You got to get this job. You need to get the education in order to have this, that, and third.
I never gave a
Go ahead. Hold on.
It has to be one of the mics, because, oh. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
How the hell did you hear that?
You didn't hear it? Oh, maybe
I didn't hear it until he stopped.
Loud and clear for me.
Until everybody just stopped talking. I did not. Wow.
Because I heard it. And
this man be in the booth. Okay.
He
got them is. All right. Back to it. I didn't give a shit about high school. Well, no, I didn't care about school at all until it was time to graduate, and I didn't want to go to summer school. So I had like no motivation. Like 365 for like 3.5 years. And it was like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to be here no more. Then I put the work in.
It kind of hit me. Like, I remember summer of after junior year, I'm like, yo, son, let me go to work. It was a little too late, but I'm like, let me go to work.
But my go to work was like, it was not even like, I'm really good at this. I'm just going to put in just a little more effort than I ever had before. Just a little bit more. And it was like, oh, okay. And that's how I got so, I wouldn't say I'm smart. I just understood the game of college really well and how to manipulate the syllabuses in order to exploit my strengths and hide my weaknesses. So that's how, and plus, college was the first time I was like, nah, you gotta put money in this. This shit's real. This ain't free no more. The free trial's over. So if you're gonna put some money on this, you gotta put some effort in. And then that's how I kind of got decent, cum laude. Just, graduated with honors.
I remember junior year was crazy, like on the social side. And it was like, I was going through like maybe half the year with like.
Is that where you became the show?
I became the show in senior year, but junior year, I was going through it. I was making poor decisions. I wasn't a good friend at this time, so like, made poor decisions, and I try to win graces with people. And I did, but at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, cool, what is it all worth anyway? So going into senior year, I'm like, yo, son, the rest of the world is on the other side of this year right here. So what is that going to look like? And let me put in the work right now to put myself in better standings for the rest of the world. And I just remember that was probably the first time I'm like, all right, cool, this is in my hands. Like my future's in my hands. I actually felt like that. I legit felt like kind of like everybody gave up on me, even my family, all those kind of things. Damn. All the decisions I made and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, underdog about to do his thing. Let me see where it gets me. And senior year, I bust my tail. They got decent grades. Still ended up going to community college, but at least that started good habits.
Community college is lit. Don't let anyone disrespect you.
At least it started good habits for me.
It's lit. Community college is underrated. It gives you a chance to get adapted to the college world without the stress of financial overbearance. You get to go into the college situation.
I don't know, so my FAFSA took a little bit of time to hit, and I've never been more stressed in my life. I feel like that was started in my gray heads.
Trying to get that FAFSA application approved?
Never
Stress.
Stress. I never got any money to.
Sounds privileged.
That's terrible.
That's horrible. This man had to pay money to go to school.
But isn't it because they believe that your household makes enough money for you?
Yeah, but we already know what time it is. We know we broke.
Yeah.
Like the black community, like you either have to be like dirt poor, have no money, one of your parents can't work. If you make any type of decent money, enough to survive in New York City, you don't get FAFSA.
You got to be like under $20,000 a year, like eating dirt from the ground to get FAFSA.
I mean, at the time I was from a single parent household. My mom wasn't making that great of money, but we had like a throwback mortgage, which would be like decently affordable. So we were making ends meet. And that FAFSA.
What the fuck is a throwback mortgage?
I know that sounds bad, redlining.
How much does mortgages cost nowadays? $600,000 homes at least.
Oh yeah.
Like the price amount on the house I grew up in was from 1994, 1995. So having that threshold, that pricing on the house affects the mortgage. 20-year mortgage on $150,000 hits different now. $600,000 for a 30-year mortgage hits real different.
That's how you build that wealth, that generational wealth.
So like still, I remember being on the fast food line. I think that's how I started my gray hair situation. My gray hairs hit freshman year of college. That's when gray hairs hit, and I remember I
believe that.
And I already knew that I had to fill out FAFSA by myself. Like my mom didn't have to do FAFSA. Like I knew that was my responsibility. Everything that from this point was just me. I had to figure this whole thing out. My mom gave me the first time I held a W-2. I had a part-time job before, but the first time I had a W-2 that had something to do with it was my mom's W-2 filling out this information for FAFSA. And I'm like, son, all this information, I'm like hoping to enter it. And it's like the second, third week of classes. And I'm like, son, these books $250? Yeah. $250?
Oh.
And I'm out here making copies 10 cents a page. I'm like, son, I'm sweating. But I'm like, son, I can't. Who am I going to?
That's the fucking scam of books.
Yeah, man.
That's expensive.
I used to get my books from PDF on torrent websites.
I used to try to. Yeah. I would try my damnedest to find that shit free.
I was nice at that shit.
I needed y'all.
I was nice, yo. I'll never forget. Like one day, teacher was like, "Oh, does everybody have the textbook?" I was like, "Yeah, nobody had a textbook." Mm-hmm. Then she was like, "Well," I was like, "I got this one on PDF right here." She was like, "Could you get that shit to like half the class?"
That's what you got to do.
Free.
And that's what when it came to college, at least community college, everyone knew the hustle. Everybody knew the struggle. If one person got the textbook, we all got the textbook. But it's like I remember. LaGuardia Community College. It was 10 cents per page to copy. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
One chapter at a time.
Bro, they had a
machine.
They had a copy shop across from McGarrett's College, bro. They had a copy shop, and then the guy would make copies of the textbook and sell those copies.
Genius.
That shit was so clutch. When I tell you this was clutch,
that's a true hustler. That's a true hustler.
Right across from the schools.
Absolutely.
Put that man in the Hustler Hall of Fame.
These kind of years kind of like put you in the hustle mentality. We took up the responsibilities that we had at this time. It's like, yo, so we ain't gonna turn nowhere else. Like I remember having a conversation with Steve, and it was like, I remember I was so broke during my freshman year of LaGuardia. I would walk to the train station. hop the turnstile to go to school. It was rough. Like I was dead broke. Going. So I'm like, so this is all I got. And it's because, you know, the first 3 years of high school, I got such poor grades. Mom was like, you going to college? You ain't working. You're not working. Why? No. So I still worked on weekends. And that got me $50 every 2 weeks.
God, wait. Yeah. Mom is like, your ass is going to go to school. You ain't going to work.
Yep.
But I ain't going to give you no money to get to school.
I mean, to set the bar, like, you know, at this time.
She give you a Metro card?
At this time, I'm in not even a year of being a single parent household.
Oh.
So my mom is struggling.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Damn.
And me at 18, I like if I can walk to the train station on the turnstile, that's what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying? Instead of asking her for a Metro card, because the monthly at that time was like $70. You know, I never had $70 for the month. Oh, that like $50. Like I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, but put that on a Metro card. May have bought lunch or breakfast because, you know, I was at school all day. I had to choose which meal I was gonna go with, either breakfast or lunch. Head home and get dinner, and time was real. And I remember having a conversation with my brother Steve, and just like, I'm not sure if he set this tone in motion. It was just like, son, I work because I have to. He was going to Brew College at the time. He was like, I work because I have to. I'm gonna pay his Metro card. I'm gonna get this haircut. I can't. Who else can go to it for? I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, and it's just like, you know,
Did you get a job after that? After that speech?
So my mom didn't know about the weekend job.
Wow, that's crazy.
She didn't know about the weekend job. So I'm like, I do what I gotta do. Then my mom loses her job. So there was a point in time where I was working at the YMCA part-time and I was breadwinner. YMCA part-time hours, I was breadwinner. So things got really real, like at different parts of my life. Because at this time, Steve's like a senior or junior in college, and he couldn't work the hours because he was trying to finish school, and he would get to work late for the hours. So I was working all the hours, working on both Sunday and Saturday, and I was making like maybe 30 hours a week, maybe 25, 30 hours a week. And I was breadwinner. Like I remember I was paying bills at that age of like 18, 19, maybe 18 or 19. And just like, at one end it's like, yo, it's a bad situation. But the other end it's like, we gotta do what we gotta do. You know? And it was like from that point on, it's like, all right, cool. Always, you know, and I feel like, you know, from a black household, we kind of have to grow up quick. You know what I'm saying?
Just like, that shit would have made anybody grow up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that you're out here paying your first bill.
I don't even know how you did that because I worked at the YMCA part time.
I do not know. Yeah.
I couldn't pay any bills with that money.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know,
you don't feel like that right there was your awakening? Like that's when you became a man? You think it came after that? To me, that seems like.
I mean,
that would have been like the proving grounds right there.
I was still making 19-year-old decisions because I was doing that. I remember when my financial aid check hit, one of those times, my foolish behind went and got sneakers.
Oh, I wasted so much financial aid money.
Not knowing, like, it was like, all right, cool. Once I got the copies of the book, once like I hit like, you know, my second semester, third semester, I knew how to get the books. But there was this one website that would find all of the books at its cheapest price. I forgot the website. So that's how I went about it. Instead of paying $250, I bought the edition before for $25. That's how I did it. It would take a couple weeks to come in. So I was struggling for those couple weeks, but that's how I was doing it.
Nigga wasn't doing no horn for 2 weeks.
Suddenly I was out, you know, when I was at LaGuardia, I would give myself a gap in time, like 2 hours in between on purpose. So this way I could be on campus, going to the library, whatever I got to do my homework then. So it was rough, but I did what I had to do. But I was still making foolish decisions. I was still out here trying to get sneakers and trying to get fly. Like, even though I was doing it on a budget, still I was like, you know, more concerned about my fashionable appearance. Because, you know, that financial aid could have been used towards winter classes, could have been used for books and all these responsible things.
Yeah,
I
but
did none of. I did none of that.
But I don't want you to beat yourself up so much about that, because at the end of the day, you're still a child.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a child. You had to do adult things, but you're still a child.
It's true.
So you you should have been allowed to be a child and not feel guilty about being it. It's just that you had to grow up real quick. So you're trying to balance being an adult and a child at the same time. And you were a child for way longer than you were an adult at that point. So that's why you kept doing the childish things, allegedly. I don't call childish in the words, not in what I actually believe.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily childish. I think that it was probably like a small consolation. It was something small that you did for yourself.
Like, yeah, you put in all this work.
Yeah,
like you earned those Jordans 10 times over.
I appreciate that.
You earned all that fashion that you spent your financial aid money on.
Like, I remember when I turned I turned 20. I'm like, all right, cool. These are my last pair that I'm gonna buy, and I'm gonna like grow up. And I kind of stuck with that. And I always,
Which one were they?
Concord, Cardinal Sevens. And I think I was like 20 years old. Because I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going into my 20s. Let me stop acting like a child, all those kind of things. And
dude, you couldn't even drink alcohol now, and you're like, let me stop acting like a child. You're 20. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but I would. At that point in time, I wasn't trying to be a man or nothing like that. I just like, all right, cool. Like, I have to take ownership of my responsibility.
But the fact that your brain was starting to flip that switch already at age 20, I need to be a man. Like, you can't. They won't even let you drink alcohol.
Yeah. No.
In the country at the time, and you're already like, I need to be a full-fledged adult. That's crazy.
Not full-fledged, just.
But you were trying.
But it is full-fledged. You're working a part-time job. You're paying the bills, and
paying a bill.
Going to school.
You're paying a bill. You're going to school. You said you were the breadwinner of the family at that time. Like, that's a lot of responsibility. That right there sets the tone for the rest of everything else you do. Like, that is, to me, that's when you go from a boy to a man.
On the flip side, it's like, it wasn't all bad, because that moment of pride, I liked it. I liked it a lot. You get what I'm saying? Especially because, being a senior in college and not everybody like, all right, cool. You probably gonna be a knucklehead pretty much. To then flip all right, cool, actually contribute to this household. I liked it a lot. And I remember when I first got my first full-time job, I'm like, yo, son, I'm here, give me more bills. That was my first thing.
He was
Give me more bills.
My money.
Looking back, I'm sort of like, this is trash. This is garbage.
There's out here, take all my money.
Yeah,
tax me.
Yeah, but that was
pay for these roads.
That was the energy I had behind it, because for me, that's how I wanted to, I guess, show success or prove my success or whatever the case may be, prove my worth, I guess.
That's so funny. In the black community, it's the more we take on, the more we equate that to success. The more bills I pay, the more successful I am in actuality. But other families, other cultures they don't move like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of sad. I hope that one day when I have kids, whatever the case may be, I want my kids to be I want them to not have a care in the world. I don't want them to have to pay bills. I don't want them to have to do all of those things before it's time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to prevent them from having to grow up too fast.
I agree.
I think in the black community, we're being raised to be adults from the moment we're born. We have a childhood, yes, but do we get to be a child for long before we have to take on all of these responsibilities?
I mean, that raises a good question, because I remember having friends and well into our 20s, their parents were collecting half of their check and they were calling it rent, but it was really going into their savings account. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, son, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you the idea of your money's gonna be going towards bills, but still it's going right back to you. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, son, I'm 25 years old. Son, that's fire. Wish it was me. It ain't. Gotta keep on pushing. But this is exactly true. And my work ethic now is just trying to make sure that my kids don't feel like they have to grow up too quick. Because age of 18, they're starting. I want my kids to be able to choose whether or not they go to school at the age of 18. I don't feel like they have that ultimatum. You know, I never want to feel like a kid. I believe 18-year-old is still a kid.
I agree.
You know, so to give a child an ultimatum is a lot of pressure. You get it?
And if you want to smoke, pull up. You know what time it is, nigga.